Probably the most appealing of all the super compact city cars, the Toyota Aygo has done better than its maker dared expect. Pert, fun to drive, and capable of undertaking longer journeys than many of its rivals, the Aygo is everything a junior city car should be. This car was developed as part of a joint project that also produced Citroen C1 and Peugeot's 107. But Toyota have gone to greater lengths to visually differentiate the Aygo. That's reflected in a marginally higher sticker price, but for many buyers, the treatment of the front headlamps and grille and the way that the rear light clusters have been integrated will be enough to swing the balance. The Aygo is a city car first and foremost, a fact reflected in a 0 to 60 time that takes 14 seconds. Handling's pretty nimble, although the steering can feel a little bit rubbery at higher speeds. At lower speeds though, the electrical assistance makes parking a doddle. Now you really can get into the tightest of parking spaces with this car, and the 9.46 metre turning circle means that even if you see a parking space at the other side of the road, you should be able to do a quick U-turn to snaffle it. Now, the 1 litre petrol engine that comes on all Aygo models isn't the quietest of its kind, but it is billed as the world's lightest production engine. A 5-speed manual transmission is the default choice, but Toyota's multi-mode automatic transmission is also an option for those who want a clutchless setup to take the drag out of city driving. Ride quality is surprisingly good for such a small and inexpensive little car. And the Aygo is one of those city cars you really wouldn't mind taking on longer distances. It's able to keep up with the cut and thrust of motorway driving, although you might need the odd down change to keep the 67 brake horsepower engine on the boil. Top speed is pegged at 98 miles an hour, although with a fair following wind you might hit the ton where conditions and the law allow. The tail of the tape shows a 3.4 metre overall length. Now to put that in perspective, that's about 23 centimetres shorter than a modern Mini. Moving inside, you've got this two-tone dash with a textured top to it. And one of the more interesting features about the interior design, I think, is the way that they've done this ventilation controls. You've got 2 large wheels bookending the centre console with this translucent panel in between. And combined with the funky minimalist instrument binnacle here, it lends a real modern feel to the interior. The steering column is almost infinitely adjustable for rake, the instrument binnacle moving with the wheel as you push it up and down. You've got plenty of seat travel and lots of headroom, so there really shouldn't be a problem in getting comfortable behind the wheel of an Aygo. Sitting behind a tall driver with the rear seat at the end of its travel is another thing altogether, but that's pretty forgivable. I mean, there's only so much that can be done within the strictures of a 2.34 metre wheelbase. You'll pay no more than £7,000 to £8,000 for this car. Now, that might be a few £100s more than some city car rivals, but you'll make the money up in higher resale values when trade-in time comes. There's a choice of 3 and 5 door body styles, all powered by the same 1 litre petrol engine. All the models are well equipped with body coloured bumpers, front and side airbags and anti-lock brakes with the back up of electronic brake force distribution. With a modest upfront price and tiny ongoing running costs, the Aygo isn't going to break the bank. Expect to average about 60 miles to the gallon on an ongoing basis if you've got a restrained right boot, and even around town you should get 50 miles to the gallon regularly. Every variant is rated at Insurance Group 1, so the Aygo would be an ideal car for the first-time driver or somebody looking to rack up some no-claim bonus. Even if you do have a small shunt, body panels are designed to come on and off very easily, lowering the cost of repair. With carbon dioxide emissions of 109 grams per kilometre, the Aygo is not only a model environmental citizen, but also qualifies for 100% exemption under the London congestion charging legislation, which is well worth knowing. At a cost per mile figure of 22.6, It's cheaper to run than rival city cars like the 1.1 litre Kia Picanto or even the 800cc Chevrolet Matiz. The Aygo is a fascinating car and a worthy part of the Toyota lineup. Compared to its French stablemates, it's got a more mature, polished feel, and it's certainly brought a sense of style and sophistication to a market traditionally populated by boring econoboxes. For that, if nothing else, Toyota should be applauded.